is a divine rhythm to life, a sacred order even in the moments that seem like chaos. Sometimes before a great blessing arrives, before a breakthrough unfolds, everything around you may feel like it's falling apart. But this is not the end. This is the rearranging of the universe. This is a preparation for something magnificent. When something big is about to enter your life, something God has been preparing just for you, you will feel it, not just with your heart, but with your entire soul. You may feel discomfort, restlessness, a deep knowing that what used to satisfy you no longer does. This is not a sign of something wrong. It is a sign of expansion, the sign that you are outgrowing your old life, and the universe is about to birth something new through you. When God is about to give you something big, one of the first things that begins to happen is that old doors start to close. It can feel confusing, even painful. The people, places, and patterns that once felt familiar and secure may begin to drift away or fall apart. You might wonder, why is this happening now? Why is everything I relied on suddenly changing? But I want you to know, this isn't destruction, it's divine preparation. The universe is making space for something greater, something that aligns with who you are becoming, not who you once were. When a door closes, it is not a rejection, it's a redirection. You are not being punished, you are being moved. Because the spaces you once fit into can no longer hold the fullness of who you're becoming. Sometimes we stay in rooms too small for our light, too limited for our purpose. And when the universe begins to shift things, when God begins to close doors, it's because you've outgrown what once held you. But in those moments, our first instinct is often to cling. We try to hold the door open with both hands. We beg for things to stay the same, for the familiar to remain. We question ourselves, we question the path, we wonder if something has gone wrong. But nothing has gone wrong. In fact, everything is unfolding perfectly. The door is closing because your soul made a request to grow. Whether you said it in a whisper, a prayer, or a moment of silent hope, your soul called for something greater. And that call is being answered. You may notice certain friendships fading without explanation. People you once shared everything with might start to feel distant. It's not personal, it's energetic. When your frequency rises, your circle changes. When you begin to heal, evolve, and align with your higher self, not everyone can come with you. That's okay. Some people were only meant to walk part of the path with you, and their exit doesn't mean failure, it means fulfillment. Their purpose in your life has been completed, and now the universe is lovingly guiding both of you forward. Old jobs may no longer feel meaningful. Passions that once lit you up may feel dim. Even your surroundings might begin to feel heavy or uninspired. This is all a message from your inner being. You are ready for something new. The challenge is not in recognizing the change, but in trusting it. Trusting that the closed door is not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new chapter. One where you are no longer shrinking to fit, no longer pretending to be someone you're not. One where your full essence is welcomed, celebrated, and needed. It takes courage to let the door close. It takes faith to walk away from what is known and to believe that something better is on the way, even when you can't see it yet. But that is what growth is. That is what surrender looks like. It's not giving up, it's rising up. It's trusting that if a chapter is ending, then a new one, more beautiful, more aligned, is about to begin. Sometimes the closing door is gentle. Other times it's slammed shut. It might look like an opportunity falling through, a relationship ending suddenly, or a plan collapsing without warning. You might feel confused, angry, or afraid, That's okay. Feel it. But then breathe and remember, every closed door is a blessing in disguise. It is protection. It is redirection. It is God's way of saying, not this. I have better for you. The beauty of this process is that once you stop resisting, once you accept what is leaving, you make room for what is arriving. That's when the miracles begin to flow. That's when clarity returns. That's when everything you've been asking for begins to show up in ways you never expected. But it couldn't reach you until you released the old. The door had to close first. So if you're in a season of endings, if people are leaving, plans are changing, or life feels uncertain, know this. It is a sacred transition. You are not losing. You are preparing. You are not being left behind. You are being lifted up. The old doors are closing, not because something is wrong, but because your soul is ready for what is right. Say this to yourself: I trust the doors that are closing. I bless what is leaving. And I open my heart to what is coming. I am safe. I am guided. I am ready. You don't need to know what's next. You don't need to have all the answers. You simply need to trust that if God is closing a door, He is also opening a path, one that leads you to the highest version of yourself, one filled with more love, more purpose, and more beauty than you ever imagined. Let the old door close and turn toward the light that is rising within you, because something big is coming, something you were made for. And it starts the moment you let go. There comes a quiet moment, soft but undeniable, when something deep inside begins to stir. It doesn't come with noise or fanfare. It's not always clear or logical, but it's there. A subtle, persistent nudge in your soul. You feel it in the stillness of the morning, in the silence between thoughts, in the breath you didn't know you were holding. Something is changing, and you may not yet have words for it, but your spirit recognizes the shift. God is getting ready to do something big in your life. This inner stirring is not anxiety, although at first it may feel like it. It's not restlessness in the way we usually know it. It is a divine calling from within, a soft awakening that whispers, you are meant for more. It is the beginning of a sacred unfolding. And if you listen, truly listen, you will begin to understand that this stirring is an invitation. You may suddenly feel unsatisfied by things that once felt exciting. The places you used to enjoy may no longer feel like home. You might wake up with questions you didn't have before. Is this all there is? Am I living in alignment with my truth? These questions are not a sign that you're lost. They are proof that you are waking up. You are being invited to grow, to expand, and to become more of who you really are. Sometimes this stirring shows up as a dream, a vision that won't let go, a calling to write, to build, to move, to speak, to love deeper. And even if you don't know how to begin, the desire is real. That desire is divine. The stirring is not asking for immediate action. It's asking for awareness. It's asking you to turn inward and say, I feel you. I hear you. I'm open. Other times, the stirring comes through discomfort. Things that used to be good enough start to feel suffocating. Patterns you once ignored begin to irritate you. You become aware of the places in your life where you've settled, compromised, or forgotten your own worth. And while this may be uncomfortable, it's also sacred. The stirring is showing you what you're no longer available for. It's calling you higher, even if you can't see the full path yet. You might not be able to explain it to anyone else, and that's okay. This feeling wasn't sent to them, it was sent to you. This is your private conversation with the universe. Your soul is speaking, and it doesn't need outside validation. Others might not understand why you're feeling different, why you're pulling back, or why you're suddenly drawn to new ideas and possibilities, but you do. You feel it in your bones. You know that something is shifting, that something is coming. During this phase, it's easy to doubt yourself. It's easy to look at your current reality and say, but nothing is happening. Yet everything is happening. The most powerful changes begin invisibly. Seeds grow roots before they sprout, and your inner stirring is the root system of your next chapter. Don't dismiss it because it's quiet. Don't overlook it because it's not dramatic. The softest awakenings often bring the loudest breakthroughs. Trust the stirring. It's the presence of something divine moving through you. It's your higher self reminding you that you are not meant to shrink. You are meant to rise. This feeling is not random. It's not a phase. It's a preparation. God is moving you closer to your purpose, closer to your calling, closer to a life that reflects your inner truth, not your outer fear. You may feel called to learn something new, to end something old, to spend more time in solitude, to connect more deeply with your spirit. Follow those nudges. Follow the peace. The more you listen to the stirring, the clearer it becomes. And with each moment of alignment, the path will gently begin to reveal itself. You don't need to know the entire plan. You only need to say yes to the invitation, yes to the feeling, yes to the knowing that something beautiful is unfolding. And as you say yes, you step into harmony with the divine. You begin to trust the process instead of fearing it. You allow yourself to become the vessel for the blessings already on their way. Say to yourself, I honor the changes within me. I trust the divine timing of my life. I follow the gentle pull of my soul. You are not lost. You are not confused. You are awakening. You are remembering who you truly are. The inner stirring is not a mistake. It is your miracle in motion. Something big is on the horizon, and your soul already knows it. Let yourself feel it. Let yourself lean in. Because when God is about to give you something big, you don't always see it first. You feel it. There comes a point in every soul's journey where the gentle whisper of the universe becomes a clear and loving command. Let go. Not because you failed, not because you're being punished, but because holding on is no longer helping you grow. When God is about to give you something big, something life-changing, you're often asked first to release what's standing in the way. And many times it's not something bad. It's something familiar. Letting go is not about losing. It's about making space. It's about clearing the path for what is meant to reach you, for what aligns with the person you are becoming. You cannot receive with clenched fists. You cannot welcome the new while clinging tightly to the old. And so the sacred invitation comes, soften your grip. At first, the idea of letting go can feel terrifying. You might be asked to release a relationship that once brought you comfort, a job that gave you security, a version of yourself that helped you survive. But as seasons change, so do we. What once served you may now be limiting you, and what once supported your growth may now be keeping you small. The most challenging part is that letting go rarely comes with guarantees. You're asked to trust without full understanding. You're asked to surrender before seeing the outcome. This is where faith is born, not from knowing how it all turns out, but from believing that it will, even when you can't see the evidence. Letting go can also mean releasing expectations. Maybe life hasn't unfolded the way you planned. Maybe the timing you hoped for didn't arrive. Maybe you're holding on to a version of your dream that no longer reflects your truth. When God is preparing to bless you in ways you never imagined, He often removes the limitations you've unknowingly placed on yourself. That means letting go of how it's supposed to be and opening your heart to how it's meant to be. There's beauty in this release. There's power in trusting the unseen. When you let go, you free your energy. You stop resisting. You stop trying to control every outcome. And in that surrender, something sacred happens. You align with divine flow. You allow the universe to do what it does best, support, guide, and bless you in perfect timing. Sometimes what you're being asked to let go of is an inner pattern, a belief that says you're not worthy, a fear that's been running your decisions, a story that's been looping in your mind for years. These are the quiet attachments that block the miracles from reaching you. And when you finally recognize them, when you say, I no longer need this to define me, you open the door for healing to rush in. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means honoring the past without being held hostage by it. It means blessing the lessons while releasing the pain. It means saying thank you for what you taught me and gently walking forward without carrying the weight. It takes courage to let go. It takes trust to release your grasp and step into the unknown. But remember this, everything you release creates space for something greater. The relationship you thought you couldn't live without may make room for a deeper love. The job you outgrew may lead you to your true calling. The chapter you close may bring you to the very life you've been praying for. You don't have to let go all at once. Sometimes it happens in quiet moments, in small acts of faith. Each time you choose peace over control, trust over fear, surrender over force, you are letting go. You are telling the universe, I am ready. And the universe always responds to readiness. Say this to yourself. I let go with love. I release what no longer serves me. I trust that what is meant for me is already on its way. You are not alone in this process. You are held, you are guided. Every step you take away from what was brings you closer to what is becoming. You don't have to understand everything right now. You only need to believe that letting go is not the end. It's the beginning of something beautiful. And God is about to give you something big. The space must first be made. Letting go is not loss. It's the sacred preparation for abundance, joy, and divine alignment. The more you release, the more you receive. So breathe, trust, and open your hands. What's coming is far greater than anything you're leaving behind. There are moments in life when everything feels like it's slowing down. The plans you made aren't unfolding the way you hoped. The dreams you've prayed for, visualized, affirmed, and worked toward seem to hang in the distance, just out of reach. You begin to question the timing. You start to wonder if something has gone wrong. You look around and see others moving forward while you feel like you're standing still. But I want you to know something very sacred. If you're experiencing delays, it doesn't mean denial. It means divine preparation. Delay is not a punishment. It is a powerful pause. It is the universe's way of aligning the pieces, protecting your journey, and preparing you for what you've asked for. Sometimes, when you're ready emotionally, you're not ready energetically. And sometimes, when you're ready spiritually, the environment around you is not yet set up to hold your blessing. The delay exists to bring everything into perfect harmony. It's easy to become frustrated during these moments. You might feel like your efforts are being ignored or your faith is being tested. But what if this delay is not a test, but a gift? What if it's not about your worthiness, but about your readiness? Because what you're calling in isn't small, it's not ordinary, it's big. And big blessings require strong foundations. God is never in a rush. He works in perfect timing. Delays often reveal parts of us that still need healing. When things slow down, we're given the opportunity to look within. We become aware of fears we've been ignoring, patterns we've been repeating, and beliefs that may still be rooted in lack. The stillness asks us to realign, to come back into our power, to trust even when it's hard. You might be tempted to push, to force things into motion. But the more you resist the delay, the more tension you create. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing the need to control how and when your manifestation arrives. It means trusting that a delay is not the absence of movement. It's just movement you can't yet see. Imagine a seed planted in the earth. It does not sprout the moment you bury it. There is silence first, darkness, time. But under the surface, life is beginning. The seed is opening. The roots are reaching down. It's preparing for strength before it ever emerges into the light. And so are you. When delays happen, you are being given sacred space to grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned. You're being asked to deepen your faith, to hold your vision with even more clarity, and to affirm your trust with each passing day. This is where real transformation happens, not in the arrival, but in the becoming. Sometimes the delay is not even about you. It's about the people you're meant to meet, the doors that need to open, the hearts that need to shift. Your blessing may be tied to someone else's readiness too. The universe orchestrates miracles on a level we cannot comprehend. What looks like a standstill is actually a masterpiece being arranged. So don't let the delay convince you that you're forgotten. You are not forgotten. You are being refined, molded, protected, elevated. You are being positioned to walk into your destiny without doubt or fear, because when it arrives, it will come so clearly, so powerfully, that you will understand why it couldn't happen any sooner. Instead of resisting the delay, use it. Use it to realign your energy. Use it to nurture your body, your mind, your spirit. Use it to clear the clutter within and around you. Prepare the container for what you are about to receive. You do not wait in vain when you wait with purpose. Say this to yourself: I am not behind, I am not late. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. I trust the timing of my life. What you want is not being withheld, it's being perfected. And when it finally arrives, you'll realize that the delay was never a detour. It was the exact path that led you to everything you've been praying for. Every moment you've spent waiting has been a sacred investment in your becoming. And your blessing will not be early, and it will not be late. It will be right on time. Breathe, be still. Let go of the rush. The wait is not empty, it's full of purpose. Something beautiful is unfolding even if you can't see it yet. And when God is about to give you something big, the delay is just His way of making sure it fits your greatness. When something big is about to enter your life, the universe begins to speak in symbols. Repeating signs start to appear all around you, not by accident, but by divine design. These signs are gentle nudges from the unseen, loving reminders that you are on the right path even when your outer world hasn't yet caught up with your inner vision. They are messages that whisper, keep going, you're closer than you think. You may start to notice the same numbers over and over again on clocks, receipts, license plates, page numbers, 1111 and 333, 777. These are not coincidences. They are angelic signals, affirmations from the divine that you are being guided and supported. You might see feathers, butterflies, or the same animal repeatedly crossing your path. You might hear the same phrase in different places, or meet people with strangely similar stories. These signs are not random. They are confirmations that your energy is aligning with your desire. When you begin to see repeating signs, your spiritual senses are awakening. Your inner world is more connected to the divine than ever before, and your awareness has expanded enough to receive the messages you once overlooked. You are no longer living by sight alone. You are tuning into the invisible realm of guidance and support. This is a sacred moment, and it should be honored. At first, you might question these signs. You may ask, "Am I imagining this?" But that very question is a sign in itself. It means your intuition is becoming sharper. Your spirit is reaching beyond logic and tapping into the frequency of trust. The key is not to overthink these signs, but to feel them. Let them resonate. Let them speak to the part of you that knows truth without needing proof. The repetition is a language. It speaks softly but clearly. If you see the same numbers, pause. Ask yourself, what was I just thinking about? What was I about to do? Often, these signs come right when you're doubting your path or questioning your worth. They come to realign your thoughts with faith. They come to remind you that you're not alone. The universe will always communicate with you through what is most familiar and most symbolic to you. For some, it's nature. For others, it's music, art, or even dreams. Pay attention to what lights up around you, what repeats itself in unexpected places, because these signs are like spiritual breadcrumbs. They lead you home to yourself, to your purpose, and to your manifestation. When you're about to receive something big, your vibration begins to shift. And as your energy rises, the signs increase, not because the universe has changed, but because you have. Your awareness has deepened. You're now tuned into the station of miracles, and you're hearing the signal loud and clear. But signs are not just pretty little patterns. They are also calls to action. When you see them, ask yourself, what is this trying to tell me? Where am I being guided? What am I being asked to release, to trust, or to step into? These signs are not here to entertain you. They are here to awaken you, to help you realize that your life is not random. It is rich with meaning. You may begin to notice the same people or opportunities circling back into your life. You may get a sudden, repeated urge to start something, write, move, speak, apply. Don't ignore that. The signs are preparing you for alignment. They are the green lights before the door opens. They are not the manifestation itself, but the evidence that it's on its way. And sometimes, when you're tired or uncertain, the signs show up just to hold you, to remind you that your prayers were heard, your dreams are seen, and your patience is being rewarded. They are like divine love notes placed in your path to comfort your heart when the wait feels long. Say this to yourself: I am open to divine guidance. I trust the signs that are leading me. I am supported by something greater than I can see. Seeing repeating signs is one of the clearest messages that God, the universe, your higher self, whatever name you give to the infinite intelligence, has not forgotten you. In fact, it is working overtime to align you with exactly what you've asked for. These signs are not fantasy. They are faith in motion. So smile when you see them. Pause when they appear. Receive them with an open heart. You don't need to understand everything. You only need to trust that the signs are part of something bigger. They are the rhythm of a blessing that's approaching your life. And when you are surrounded by signs, know this: the blessing isn't far. The breakthrough isn't distant. The very fact that you're seeing them is proof that something big is near. You are in the presence of transformation, and the universe is making sure you don't miss it. There is a moment in every soul's journey when the whisper becomes a roar. You can no longer ignore the feeling. You may not be able to explain it to others, but something deep within you is awakening, stretching, and demanding more. You're no longer satisfied with comfort. You're no longer willing to play small. You are feeling called to rise, and that calling is sacred. It doesn't always arrive in peaceful ways. Sometimes it's the ache that won't go away. The deep dissatisfaction with things you once tolerated. It may come in the form of restlessness or through repeated experiences that seem to push you to your limit. But this discomfort is not there to hurt you. It is there to remind you you were never meant to stay stuck. You were never created to shrink. Your soul knows this, and it's speaking through every desire, every yearning, every push toward change. When you feel called to rise, everything in your life begins to reflect that invitation. You might start feeling drawn to different people, new ideas, or unfamiliar opportunities. At the same time, the things that no longer serve you will begin to fall away. What once brought you peace may now feel heavy. What once seemed enough no longer satisfies you. This is not a breakdown, it is a breakthrough. It is the clearing out before the blooming. It is the evidence that transformation is underway. There may be fear, that's okay. Rising requires you to move beyond what you've known. It asks you to leave behind identities you've worn for years, maybe even decades. You may feel exposed or uncertain, but beneath that fear is truth. And the truth is this: you were made for more. Not more in the sense of ego or comparison, but more in the sense of alignment, more authenticity, more depth, more peace, more purpose. You may notice that your inner voice is growing stronger, that your intuition is more precise, that your tolerance for drama, doubt, and delay is shrinking by the day. This is the shedding, this is the becoming. You are rising because you are no longer willing to betray your soul for the sake of comfort or approval. You are rising because something within you has remembered, I am here to live fully. And this calling doesn't mean you must have all the answers. Rising doesn't require perfection, it requires presence. It asks you to listen, to say yes when your heart leaps, to rest when your spirit is weary, to follow the quiet nudges that say, this way. You don't have to leap all at once. Sometimes rising is done in tiny steps. Sometimes it's saying no when you used to say yes. Sometimes it's sitting in stillness long enough to hear your own voice again. You're being called to rise because there is something greater waiting for you on the other side of who you used to be. There are gifts inside of you that can only be unlocked through courage. There are people waiting to be inspired by your journey, even if you don't know them yet. Your rising is not just for you, it's a ripple effect. Every time you choose to honor your truth, you give others permission to do the same. You might be tempted to go back, to shrink, to hide, but that version of you no longer fits. The life you're leaving behind can no longer contain the fullness of your light. And while the unknown may feel frightening, it is also filled with grace. The path may not be clear, but your willingness to walk it will carve the way. Say this to yourself: I honor the call to rise. I trust the path unfolding for me. I am ready to become who I was always meant to be. When God is about to give you something big, He stirs your spirit first. He plants a seed of desire and then begins to guide you toward the soil where you can grow. That feeling you have, the restlessness, the longing, the undeniable urge to evolve, that is your sign. That is your signal. You are being prepared, positioned, and propelled into a new chapter. So lean into it, trust it. Don't run from the discomfort. Don't silence the longing. Instead, recognize it for what it is, a sacred invitation to step into your higher self, your wiser self, your stronger, softer, truer self. You are not here to stay where you are. You are here to rise, to elevate, to embody the divine light that lives within you. And even if you can't see the whole picture yet, even if your path feels unclear, know this: the feeling is real, the calling is true, and the time is now.